And these will be minutes from November 12th. Okay. Can I get a
Make that
motion?
motion, Mayor. I second it, Mayor.
We have a motion by Mr. Moore, second by Mr. Shaw on the previous minutes, November 12th. Any discussion or comment? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Any comment as related to items on this agenda? Okay. Resolution 1644, and that's a resolution authorizing the issue of $5 million of street improvement revenue bond series 2015 of the Sales Tax District Number 1 of the City of Bastrop Parish of Morehouse, State of Louisiana, prescribing the form, terms, and conditions of such bonds and providing for payments thereof, authorizing an agreement with the paying agent, and providing for other matters in connection therewith. And this matter is to be tabled. Ms. Goldman?
Mayor, our financial advisor called and asked us to table it. He's hoping to get more bids in after the holidays. So we're going to try to have something ready for the January meeting.
Okay, so this one is not ready for the night. Any other material? Can I get a motion to it?
Doug said we need to have a motion to table it.
Okay, can I get a motion to table?
I'll move that we table it until
Second.
January.
Motion by Mr. Shaw, second by Mr. Locke. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. May I have a motion to adjourn?
I
So
make that
moved.
motion.
Okay. Now, we call to order the regular meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen, Thursday, December 10th, 6 p.m., City Courtroom. Mr. Shaw, would you give us an invocation?
We stand, please. Lord, we just come to you tonight, thanking you for your many, many blessings that you poured out upon us. And Lord, we just pray that as we conduct this meeting, Lord, it would be done to improve, Lord, the city, parish. Lord, we just thank you for blessing it already, but we just pray that you would continue to bless us as we go through trying to better our city and our community, Lord. Lord, just give us a great night tonight, and we ask all these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Mr. Moore, would you do pledge?
Salute, pledge. I will
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Ms. Goldman.
Mr. Moore,
Here.
Mr. Shaw,
Here.
Mr. Armstrong,
Here.
Mr. Locke,
Here.
Mayor, all present but Mr. Johnson.
Okay. Any announcements? Public comments as related to items on the agenda. Approve previous minutes, regular meeting November 12th.
May I make that motion that we approve those minutes?
We have a motion by Mr. Locke,
I'll second that motion.
second by Mr. Moore. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Finance Committee report, Resolution 151642. Mr. Shaw.
Mayor, we have met and reviewed the bills and claims for the month of November 2015, and I make a motion that we accept these bills and claims.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Resolution 161543, commemorating Cindy McKnight upon retirement as communication officer for the Bastrop Police Department. Chief Campbell?
Yes, I first told her I wasn't going to sign. She couldn't leave, but I think she said the fish were biting. So Cindy gave the city 23 years, and she served the city well in communications in the radio room for those. I think we were hired about the same time, 6 months, I think, before I did. So about 23 years that Cindy gave us. Very good radio operator. But she said it was time to go home. So we're going to miss her, but she's retired. So I'm proud of the time and the service that she gave, but I recommend that we do commend her for the years that she did give us.
Thank you, Chief. Can I get a motion on Resolution 161543?
I make that motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Moore, second by Mr. Shaw. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Appoint a member to the Civil Service Board. And we have I guess, a lady in our community that has volunteered to serve, and it's Dale Bishop. She worked in the school system probably 40 years or longer. And it'd be my recommendation that she be appointed to the Civil Service Board. So moved.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any discussion? I believe, let's see, she's replacing the...
She's replacing Mr. Arthur Miller.
Okay.
He served several years, but he wanted to get off.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Audit report. Ms. Cindy Haynes, Hill and Zima County.
How are y'all?
Right, good, good.
I met with the mayor and Sandra and Mr. Burrell earlier today and told them it was a very good audit. The finances are holding pretty steady considering our sources of income. There wasn't any matters of non-compliance that came to their attention. So Ms. Goldman was given a copy of the audit report, so if any of you want to look at that, she can just email you a copy. And within the next week or so, I will forward it to the Legislative Auditor's Office, and it will be timely filed by the December 31st deadline. And again, I think it's the best way to present probably the data is by graphs and charts. And so the first one I have is just to look at the revenue in general, just for the general fund. This doesn't include your sales tax fund or anything to do with the sewer and revenue, sewer fund or whatever. It's just strictly the general fund. And I made mention again to them earlier today. This fund, or this types of revenue, have run about $10 million for several years, even back into Mayor Hawkins' administration. I remember us talking about it then. And needless to say, the majority of our revenues come from taxes. Almost $8 million of the $10 million is from taxes. The next largest amount comes from intergovernmental. Now, that's like our grants, anything from the state, beer license, anything like that that we get from the state, that is included in the intergovernmental. Okay, and then we'll look at the same revenues in a different source. Am I not clicking the right thing? I was doing. No, that's it, that's it. Go back one, please. No, that's good right there. This one, okay. All right. This is the same $10 million worth of revenues, but we're just looking to see, again, the percentage. Like we said, 80 out of the 10 million, 800,000 out of the 10 million was for taxes, 75%, 13% is intergovernmental, and then the next closest to that is 5%, the licenses and permits. And this percentages have held about the same from year to year. For 2014, taxes were 69%. So over the years, it's always held about the same. Okay, now of those $8 million in taxes, 60% comes from sales taxes, 35% from property taxes, and 5% from gross receipts. And again, our sales tax revenue has held pretty good, very good. I mean, nobody 4 or 5 years ago would have ever dreamed it, but it has done well. So, all right, and then we'll look at our expenditures, and you'll see that our expenditures also are right about $10 million. So, and of those expenditures, the general fund takes up 24%, fire about 29%, and the police 19%. So those three, usually from year to year, constitute the majority of the general fund expenditures. And then we'll see from there that of those expenditures versus the budget, you can see the general government here, for instance, was budgeted $2.6 million. They only spent $2.4. Everybody, or each department, budget was well maintained. Like I said, there was no, by law, you have to stay within a 5% variance. But you don't look by individual department. We look at a whole, but still each individual department did a good job by keeping their budget within control, and that way overall we could say that the budget was not, the budget law was not violated. And then this one, we just do a comparison over the past 3 years, the past 3 fiscal years, and once again you'll see, very, very little change. The police expenditures have gone up a little bit, but I think that's because we've added maybe a few more officers, and then two, over the time period, they've always gotten a little bit more grants, revenue. The past few years, they've had those big technology grants, so that's why theirs seem to be a little bit higher on the green bar for 2013. Okay? And that's about it. Like I said, I mean, everything's kind of holding its own. Everything looks good. I think everybody's doing a good job from what I could see and tell as far as the finances are concerned. So if you have any questions, and like I said, get a chance to look at the audit report from Sandra and have questions, be sure and call me. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can I get a motion on this?
We don't have to have any actions, just a report. Right.
Let's see how we got on this. I think it's just a report is fine.
Just a report.
Okay.
If you want to be safe, you just
He said if you want to be safe, you can go ahead and accept the
move to
report.
receive the audit that was
Could
presented.
I get a motion to move to receive the report?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Mary Cooper, Petroleum Automation Consultant, and this is on housing demolition.
Thank you, Mayor Jones, members of the council, and Ms. Goldman. I'd like to thank the city for allowing us to provide our services. On November 18th, we performed 4 asbestos inspections. The locations were at 520 North Odom Street, 1609 Robinson Avenue, 620 Paradise Street, and 803 Van Avenue in Bastrop. And We found asbestos-containing material at 2 of the locations. 803 Van Avenue was determined not to contain any asbestos, and I have a report available for you. Ms. Goldman has an electronic copy, but we can provide that for you as well. There was also no asbestos found, let's see, at 620 Paradise. So both of those, as far as our involvement with those properties is concerned, we have no reason to be involved further with those properties. So they are, as far as asbestos is concerned, clear to be demolished. At 1609 Robinson Avenue, we did encounter some unsafe conditions to perform the inspection. We were able to kind of reach in the back door. We couldn't enter the structure, but we were able to collect a piece of floor, like vinyl flooring. That sample did come back positive for asbestos. My supervisor, who's worked in the industry for 9 years, visited the property, and usually when it's unsafe to enter the property, the rules state that you have to treat the entire structure as asbestos-containing material and use proper wetting methods and load up all the debris and dispose of it as asbestos-containing materials. He was able to determine that the above part of the structure did not contain any suspicious asbestos-containing material, so he was able to provide me with a proposal for the city of Bastrop that would allow us to have the city dispose of the top portion as regular trash debris, and as he would supervise the project. And when we reached a point where we thought we might be reaching some suspicious material, from that point down, we would treat it as asbestos-containing material. Using these methods, the proposal that we have for you, I provided you with a copy. The city would provide the loader and heavy equipment operator to demolish the structure, water and a water truck for proper wetting methods, the necessary drivers for city vehicles, of course, and for drivers to haul the debris to White Oaks landfill. Our organization proposes to furnish 2 certified asbestos technicians. They're certified contractor supervisors with their license with Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality. We estimate the time for the completion of this project to be 1 8-hour working day for those technicians. So that's what our pricing is based on. If the job runs longer, additional fees would incur, but we don't anticipate that. If in our scope of work, we would make all the required notifications to the LDEQ. They require a 10 working day notification. We will provide OSHA-approved air monitoring. We'll provide the 6 mil poly to wrap and line the trucks to make sure that the asbestos is contained. And we'll get all the necessary disposal paperwork in order. We will also provide the city with an abatement report and air monitoring records that you'll need for your purposes, and disposal documentation as well. So our estimated cost for that abatement project and air monitoring would be $2,881.90 for that project. So please let me know. Any questions you have on that now, feel free to ask, or feel free to contact us if you have any questions at a later date on that property.
Ms. Cooper, on it's 2 houses that
Yes, sir.
which you have inspected that come up with asbestos, right?
Yes, sir.
That's these 2 right here.
Yes, sir.
Robinson and North Odom. And how long did you say, one of them you said maybe 8 hours? Then the one on North Odom, did you give a time for that?
And I can get you a breakdown of how we calculated that pricing. The next home, the siding, the actual transite siding on that home it contains asbestos. And we have to clear the shrubs and things and small trees around the home and clear that so that we can line the underneath of the home and contain the asbestos-containing material as we remove it. Those projects tend to run a couple of days sometimes. So we estimated when we wrote up our proposal, we had 2 working days estimated into that project. So if you'd like, I can move on to that property now. At 520 North Odom, we also found asbestos-containing material, but it was limited to the siding. So on that structure, our abatement personnel can actually handle that on their own. We don't need to use city vehicles or trucks. We can use our own trucks and our own supplies for that abatement project. So our scope of work would include making all of the LDEQ notifications. Of course, it still requires 10 working days. We provide OSHA-approved air monitoring. It says in here, you can see where we put that we need to remove the trees and shrubs around the base of the structure prior to the abatement and dispose of that. So that's when we say remove, we cut it down and remove that. And we estimate that siding to be around 1,840 square feet. So we'll dispose of that at an approved asbestos disposal landfill. And again, we'll provide the city with the necessary abatement report, air monitoring report, and disposal records for that project as well. This project, the proposed cost for this project is $4,166.80. Do you have any further questions on these 2 properties?
So, one other quick question.
Sure.
There was, how many houses did we have on the list?
We had 10 pieces of property on there. One is we're gonna have to wait on one.
Okay, so we got 9.
Got 9,
So we got 5 more inspections that we need.
right.
Are you gonna do those, or have you?
I'll do those, and when I talked with my supervisor, since he had to come out and take a look at that other home to see, because it could save the city money, and he did that while he was out in this direction. He just swung by. He's going to come with me and he has so much more experience than I do. He's been doing this for 9 years, so he can kind of help me learn and teach me, because I'm just a young whippersnapper is what Mr. Dean tells me. So I'll let somebody with more experience help me so I can help you save some money as a city.
Great.
So instead of him having to come back out, I'm just going to have him go on the inspections with me. And I've got to thank the city for sending Thomas. Was Thomas?
Thomas Crowder.
Yeah, oh gosh, and your other city official with us, because that made our job so much easier. We didn't have to watch over our shoulders or worry about our safety. We just got to get down to business, and that was really a treat. We don't get that often, so please, I'd like to extend our company's thanks for that, and Ms. Goldman's for setting that up for us. And she can contact us, and we can probably complete those other inspections in one day and get that back to you fairly
Okay,
quickly.
I can email those to you tonight. I do have one more question. I think our attorney wants to ask a
Sure.
question. On this, on North Odom, will y'all just be removing the siding and then the city tear down the house, or y'all
Correct.
getting rid of everything?
We'll just remove, that will be solely an asbestos
Okay.
abatement. The other property, it'll be a demo, like we'll work with the city during the demolition.
Right, okay,
But that will be just an asbestos abatement.
okay.
So, and I can clarify that.
You have a form contract that you use for the demolition projects? Or is it just you present the proposal and the public body votes on it?
What we normally do is we'll present a proposal, and if the public body agrees to the terms of the proposal, then we can provide a contract for a city official, for the mayor's office or someone to sign off on, so we have that on record, whatever you require for that.
Our main concerns would deal with workers' comp, insurance type issues. And if you have a
Sure.
contract where that's in there, we're fine with that. But that's why I was asking, because
Sure.
if so,
Like a proof of our insurance?
yes,
For,
ma'am.
for our employees?
Right.
And what have you? Sure, sure. Yeah, we can provide that for you, that's no problem. We do that routinely. So anything else you can think of for that, and I'll give you my email so that if you have any other questions along those lines, we can get that to you.
I do have that.
Anything else?
And thank you.
Thank you, and please know that we're a full-service environmental company, so we have a lot we can offer for the city. I know Mayor Jones knows that because we're in his ear a lot, but thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you for
All
coming.
right.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Ordinance 154237, an ordinance to amend, reenact, restate section 6-12 through 626, and to repeal section 627 through 630 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Bastrop, Louisiana, respecting enforcement of provisions regarding public health and safety, and to provide administrative adjudication, blighted or abandoned properties, and other matters with respect thereto. Mr. Lawrence.
Yes, sir. Mayor and council, I believe that this is marked for introduction only this evening. One correction I wanted to note, in the preamble that you just read, Mayor, in that first line where it says restate section 6-12, we should have said that 6-21. So we'll be
Okay.
changing 6-, and the ordinance draft itself is actually correct.
Okay.
Because you'll note on the next page, it starts at 6-21. So it's going to be 6-21 going forward through 26, repealing 6-27 through 6-30. So it's just for introduction, and the net effect of it is to go to an administrative adjudication process versus a judicial process.
Okay.
And we can take it up at the next regular meeting.
Okay. And this is introduction only. Liquor license.
Mayor, Councilman, we have, these are the following recommended for renewal of the liquor license for the year 2016. The first is Discount Tobacco Incorporated, 1416 East Madison Avenue, a Class A retail dealer off premises only. Johnny's Pizza House, number 7, 1601 Park Loop Road, Class B beer only, retail dealer on premises. Porterhouse Liquor, 1951 North Washington Street, Class A retail dealer off premises only. Supermart number 2, 1920 North Washington, is a Class A retail dealer off premises only. Harold's, 1930 North Washington, a Class R restaurant. And Fiesta Linda, 1065 East Madison Avenue, a Class R restaurant. I recommend that we approve these, Mayor and Council. I also have a recommendation for the following establishment for a new license for 2016 pending their state approval, and that's for the club, 924 Luther Street, is a Class B retail dealer on premises. I recommend that these be approved, Mayor.
I make that motion, Mayor.
Second.
We have the motion by Mr. Moore, second by Mr. Locke. Any discussion? All for?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Thanks, Chief.
Yes, sir.
With all business complete, I need a motion.
You gonna make the motion?
Any motion?
I make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion to adjourn and second. Meeting adjourned.
Kanda.
So what is, our next step is